and gentlemen, I am the Crypto Crow, and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about exchanges, centralized, decentralized, you name it. Now, have you watched crypto YouTube and been lost when the terms centralized exchange and decentralized exchange are thrown around? What do these terms really mean, and what's the difference? If you're new to crypto, then you might have already asked yourself this question. That's why the Crow's Nest channel was created and why you clicked on this video, because you want to better yourself through education and learning about the different types of crypto exchanges, right? After watching this video, you will not have just a better understanding of what makes an exchange centralized or decentralized, but the differences in these drastically different forms of exchanges. You will also learn about the pros and cons of self-custodying your crypto versus no custody or exchanges having custody. Let's just jump in and get you on your way to looking like Rain Man to your non-crypto friends.
You memorize the whole book?
No.
You start from the beginning?
Yeah.
How far did you get?
G.
If you're brand new to crypto, like we all were at some point, I would recommend purchasing your first moon bag on a centralized exchange, or CEX. Centralized exchanges have a central entity controlling the exchange as well as the assets held by the exchange, and the larger exchanges are generally considered safe. The most widely used and well-known centralized exchange in the US is Coinbase, and you are required to complete full Know Your Customer KYC to trade crypto and utilize their platform. Whereas centralized exchanges like KuCoin allow you to do little or no KYC prior to trading, but your deposit and withdrawal limits will be minimal compared to if you completed full KYC on the platform. The ease of use, transaction speed, and the ability to easily convert the fiat in your bank account to crypto or send those sweet crypto gains back to your bank account makes CEXs a solid option for newcomers and old crows alike. So far, centralized exchanges sound like nothing but rainbows and unicorns. However, as with most things in life, there is always a catch. When using a centralized exchange, there are quite a few. One of the biggest detractors when using centralized exchanges is not having custody of your assets. The very thing to understand about centralized exchanges is that you do not actually own the crypto in your account, the exchange does. There have been some instances in which having custodial assets on a centralized exchange did not work out well for customers and led to some losing their funds. In some extreme cases, centralized exchanges have seized funds from their customers' accounts to cover their bankruptcies, which was authorized by the EULA agreement. You know that thing no one ever reads but still accepts anyway when you're installing an application on your phone? Exchange custody can be extremely secure and safe with bank-level security on the network, which mitigates the risk of hacks and attacks on the centralized system. But there's always a looming risk of an attack on the central entity running the servers for the centralized exchange that could compromise billions in customer assets. Using a decentralized exchange, or DEX, can help you find some face-melting gains via riskier, low-cap gems not listed on centralized platforms. Decentralized exchanges, unlike their counterparts for centralized exchanges, do not have a central entity controlling the exchange, and you self-custody your crypto by storing it in a non-custodial wallet. We will have a future video going into the various types of crypto wallets and how to use them. This is not centralized, so when you try to use a decentralized exchange, you can't use a debit card or bank account to buy crypto. If you want to buy crypto on a DEX like Uniswap, you have to purchase it with the underlying asset of the token you're trying to acquire. These underlying assets can be anything from stable coins to whatever the utility token is for the blockchain the DEX is deployed on. DEXs use a trustless P2P system to process transactions directly without a third-party middleman, and is not overseen by an authority to approve the trades. Currently, there are three types of decentralized exchanges: automatic market makers, order book, and DEX aggregators, each one functioning just a tad differently. If we look at how DEXs set prices, for example, there are different methods for each type of DEX. PancakeSwap, which is an AMM, uses smart contracts and oracles to set the price of a token versus the order book method, where the difference between buy and sell orders sets the price. Let's not forget about DEX aggregators like 1inch that use some crypto magic to scroll all the DEXs to allegedly get you the best possible price. Fully decentralized exchanges are still more of a thought than reality, as a lot of DEXs have a server somewhere hosting the order book or website for the DEX, but it's a lot closer closer to decentralization than Coinbase. Just like centralized exchanges, decentralized platforms have some flaws, like scalability issues stemming from the underlying blockchain that the DEX is running on, or liquidity issues and not being able to easily cash out those gains. Any form of decentralization does come with risks, and with trustless systems and no big brother watching, there are numerous ways to get hacked or scammed. Always use caution and do your own research before going on and trying to place that degen spot order on SushiSwap. At the end of the day, it is going to be up to you to decide how to jump onto your crypto journey. You can either do a cannonball into the deep waters of decentralization and centralized exchanges, or you can ease your way into the deep water starting with centralized platforms. These centralized exchanges offer a conceived sheet of security with a thick liquidity blanket on top. However, as we peel back the blanket, you realize you don't own the crypto you see in your portfolio on FTX, and it can be seized or frozen by FTX for a variety of reasons. Enter decentralized exchanges, where you have to self-custody your crypto in order to trade it on the underlying blockchain running the DEX. This is where self-sovereignty and self-responsibility come in, and understanding if you get scammed or lose complete access to your wallet, it is on you, and there is no customer support number. Now that we have navigated the alien terrain of what makes a DEX and a CEX, let's go deeper into the crypto sphere and look at some ways you can decipher what exchange will actually work best for you. With nearly 600 centralized and countless decentralized crypto exchanges globally, it can feel overwhelming to decide which exchange to connect to or sign up for, and where to use that dirty fiat you mined up at work to purchase your first Satoshis. Before you go and start downloading every crypto exchange app on the App Store, you first need to determine what centralized exchanges are available in your country or state. A simple Google search or checking out github.com and their list of the top approved crypto exchanges by country, and you're one step closer to accumulating that big old moon bag. Once you've determined the exchanges that are approved in your area, you can take a more data-driven approach when selecting the best exchange for you. Transaction volume is one of the strongest indicators of a successful exchange because it means there's plenty of liquidity to enter and exit trades. The top 3 exchanges with the most spot trading volume are Binance, Coinbase, and FTX, with Uniswap making the DEXs proud at number 4. In my opinion, there is no need to exclusively use either a CEX or a DEX, and in my experience, it's beneficial potentially to utilize both options. You can use your bank account on a centralized exchange to purchase your USD Tether or other stablecoin, and then send it to your self-custody wallet to use on a DEX. DEXs allow you to interact with the blockchain and utilize its endless use cases and reap the rewards of this emerging market. Without having a CEX, there isn't a way to realize those rewards, and at the end of the day, that's what we're all here after: realize gains and financial freedom. As time continues, we will begin to see a blend of centralized and decentralized exchanges functioning within the confines of aggregators that bring everything together into one seamless hub. Projects like Atani or Aurochs are 2 that come to mind. I personally don't use DEX platforms because of how easy it is for scammers to create fake tokens and add liquidity, ultimately fooling unsuspecting traders into their fake coins. I prefer using a platform that is more policed with better security features, but that may change over time. Thanks for joining me, and I hope this video helped you learn and start your journey into crypto with a better footing. Until next time, crow your coins, and I'll see you soon.